Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph and this is Colony Ship. I fast traveled over here to the Promised Land. Looking at our journals, we need to go to Zeke and he can be found at the Pitts Power Station to give him a override module. And we need to talk to Jonas in the Promised Land. So we're going to do those. We also have this, you found a strange machine, its purpose or value is unknown, and up here at the top we can see that we have to report to Tanner. So those are the things we're going to do right now. Make it quick, Jonas says tiredly. I got the grenades. Jonas nods grimly in acknowledgement. They butchered Samuel. I had sent him to gather more men for the cause, and he walked straight into an ambush. Samuel was with me from the beginning. Now he's dead because of Braxton. Because that prick wants what's mine. I want you to talk to Mercy. He says after a moment's consideration, she's always been loyal to me in the past, but just talk to her for me and make sure she's on our side. Why, did you hear something? I don't have time for this, Jeremiah. Go to Camptown now. Keep your wits about you. The bastards who killed Sam are still there. And if Mercy changed sides, then she's an enemy, ain't she? Jonas says in frustration. Do I have to spell it out for you? Don't expect it to be easy, though. That place is a fortress. I'll handle it. Alright, now we need to go to... Power Station. Right? Pitts Power Station. Power Station. And we need to talk to Zeke. A thick man with an unkempt beard is attempting to beat an electronics display into submission, reminding you of a bad-tempered spirit from old Earth folklore called Bear. Right now, he's stabbing the cracked screen with one blunt finger and cursing as it repeatedly flashes red. I tried adding new transformers to the grid, he says as you approach. It ought to work, but I think this fucking thing just doesn't like me. Let me take a look. You bypass the on-screen protocols and attempt to force the software to accept more transformers, but no dice. The generator was intended for development on Proxima B, and all the operational variables are configured for the future colony. Since the OS isn't receiving input from colony-related hardware, such as mobile ore extractors, probes sniffing out metal deposits, bioconverters, and a host of other things too vital to ignore, it limits all non-essential use in the meantime. The grid is maxed out, is at max allowed capacity. You need a hard overdrive to reset the systems. Yeah, we got the electronics for it. An override module, eh? Factory's bound to have something like that. You can slip past the raiders, that is. We don't have enough power? The generator produces plenty of power, but the OS has a bunch of exotic safeguards. Every parameter and input is dictated by the big plan for the colony. So every time I try to make a change, the OS throws a fit. If we can manage to add more transformers to the grid, that'll hold us for the next little while. The bigger problem is heating and air. The cargo hold was never designed to house so many people. Or anyone at all, if it comes down to it. Portable air purifiers keep the air more or less breathable. Even if it would leave an Earthborn gasping on the floor and complaining about his rights. But that's only a temporary solution. We need to fix the old purifier to set us up for good. Then there are the defenses to worry about. The bigger the town gets, the more likely the habitat will come knocking again. Anything I can do to help? If you could supply an oxidizer for the air purifier, that would take a load off my tortured mind. Is that the kind of thing I can pick up at the store? Sorry, I was just ruminating. The towers over to Hydroponics must have one, or at least they did at some point. Best check there first. Okay. So, talking to Mercy. Zeke, the pit's chief engineer, needs an override module to upgrade the power grid. Look for the module in the armory. So, we didn't find one in the armory, but it could be our computer or lockpick, just not high enough to get into the areas. Or we need a better card to get down to level 3 of the armory. So now we need to go to talk to Tanner. And Tanner, if I remember correctly, is at Whiskey Jack. What have you got for me, Jeremiah? A few questions. Well, if that's all you got, ask your questions. All right, we already asked him all the questions, so let's go back to him. Tell him what you found in the armory. A converter, Tanner says, visibly disappointed. Weapons and combat gear are the real meat of this job. Stuff I can turn over quickly. Even droids, but ancient, half-functioning mystery machines? Not so much. Tanner slowly shakes his head, then looks down at the floor when he's finished with a silent debate with himself and sighs. Well, we got this far. What do you suggest we do? Gear designed for the colony is always top-grade tech, but we've got to figure out what the damn thing does. If it converts rocks to iron, then we can call it the ship's biggest paperweight, because rocks are in short supply. But if it does something useful like turn water into wine, the church will make us living saints. His lip attempts a smile, but gives up halfway. The thing's bigger than a shuttle. How can we even move it? Calm yourself, Tanner says tiredly. Excuse me. It took months of my life and some real liqueur to track down that access card. Now, I'm going to get mine back. It has to be worth something, even if we sell it for parts, or worse, scrap. So what's the next step? Somebody in the habitat will know what it is, Tanner says with no conviction at all. Start with the local traders. See what they have to say. Pay the archivists a visit too. If anyone knows about outsized colony tech, it'll be those eggheads. How do I get to the habitat? Through the factory. Gangs control the lower decks, but thy brother's keepers provide safe passage on the old rail overpass. It'll cost you, of course, but not as much as your life. Well, almost as much. Alright, you should be able to find information in the habitat. So where's the factory? So the factory will lead to the habitat. Alright, so we need to talk to Mercy now. Whoops, not M. Mercy's fort is in Camptown. Alright, now let's see if this goes south in a fast, horrific way. Is Mercy expecting you? Asked the guard, taking a break from daydreaming. She'll want to hear what I have to say. The guard hesitates for a moment, then steps aside. Alright, we go inside. Disposition is 4. Lord's Mercy was her given name. Though he wasn't a priest, her father called himself a man of Scripture, and never tired of reminding his only child of God's wrath, his vengeance, his untiring thirst for retribution. If that's what her name meant, Mercy did her best to live up to it. Your arrival interrupts a heated exchange between Mercy and 2 men wearing regulator patches. Mercy glances at you, then at the regulators next to her, weighing her options. It's not too late then. You're keeping interesting company these days. Maybe. I'm evaluating my options. Well, our streetwise is good. Thinking of joining the losing side for a change? Losing side, scoffs Mercy. The church is back in Braxton's play. Charisma 8 and Streetwise. Well, that's probably the better one because it's the harder one to get, right? Let's see if it's one I like the best, though. Did Braxton tell you that? Or did the Captain General himself I'm assuming that's supposed to say brief you on their invasion plans to make sure everything is in order? Anger flashes in Mercy's eyes. For a moment, you think she'll go for her gun, but she manages to control herself. You'd say just about anything to get me back, Jonas. Or to get me to back Jonas. Alright, so my streetwise is at 6, my persuasion is at 6, but it's lower than my streetwise. And I like this answer better than the other one anyways. Ask yourself this. If Braxton wins, which is a big if, what would be your place in the new order? A lieutenant? You aren't ex-military. A squad leader? That's less than what you've got now. So, what would you do with someone you can't promote or demote? Mercy sighs, giving up the dream. Tell Jonas he can count on me, says Mercy. As always. Streetwise, we got a little bit of persuasion. We got a lot of streetwise. Our streetwise is almost up to 7. That's good. And our impersonate keeps climbing up as well. Disposition, 24 out of 10. That's great. All right, turn to Jonas. And that is at Paradise. Business with Mercy is concluded. Hydroponics, clone armor. Let's go to Paradise here. That's not on. Well, it says right there. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna go to Paradise. Paradise. Promised Land, not Paradise. Being a slick talker is pretty nice. I like that. Make it quick, Jonas says tiredly. Mercy's still with you. And I thought I was never going to hear another piece of good news of this lifetime. We're going to hit Braxton hard and fast before he can muster up the troops. Mercy's going to tie up his reinforcements while you lead the assault. Caleb can help with stims and armor if you need it. Since you're putting me on the spot, I have to tell you, fighting isn't really my thing. You picked one hell of a time to reveal that fun fact, Jonas sighs. Okay, I need you to make sure no one moves to reinforce Braxton. If you're a talker, talk them out of it. If you've got some other secret skill, now's the time to put it to use. Prepare for battle. The fight for control of the pit won't be easy. You should take your time to prepare and explore the nearby locations first if you haven't done it already. Alright. So we got a bunch of experience going still. Doesn't look like anybody leveled up. Oh man, with these armor and stuff is really bad. Oh! Armor and stuff. Use a skill training machine. Where can I find? Is there one in the doctor gal? Medbay. Alright, we're running to it. We didn't get stuck on something. That's good. It's just implants. Alright. Well, dang it. We gotta find us a skill thing. Use that chip. Alright, let's sell some stuff here. Browse wares. He's an armor guy. We don't want to get rid of that or that or that or that, because we got upgrades we can give to everybody so far. This looks great. Credits for that one. A couple credits for that. Alright, so it looks like everything else is an upgrade to, these we can get rid of too. Everything else is an upgrade to somebody that eventually we will be able to use. So we're not going to do anything else there. And then we'll come up here to the armor guy. Or the gun guy. Oh, we still got to give that club to somebody. Alright, so this can go away. This can go away. We're going to hang on to that. Get rid of that. I think we should hold on to that. This can go away. This can go away. This can go away. Let's hang on to old Betsy. Let's drop Bulldog. This guy. Drop that. Drop that. I think that's probably pretty good. Made a little bit of cash off of loot. Alright. So, we stop the Regulator's reinforcements from reaching Braxton. I'm not sure But that said, we should explore around some more. So let's just go ahead and keep doing some other stuff because this is going to be tough. So this wants to go to the habitat. We're a long way from the habitat. Hydroponics was our next non-holy grail mission. So let's see if we can get to hydroponics. Hydroponics green, I guess. Let's travel there. The hydroponics division was originally conceived to adapt Terran plants to the anticipated environment of Proxima Centauri. Extensive gene editing was employed to develop resistance to alien fungi and pests. The accelerated adaptation hacked into the plant's genetic code. Like many other critical systems, hydroponics was abandoned during the mutiny. The carefully cultivated flora and fauna was left on its own in harsh environments designed to propagate rapid and brutal evolutionary cycles. When men returned to reclaim hydroponics, they discovered an environment as wild and hostile as any Earth jungle. Alright, so we're probably going to run into animals. Now, what do we need to do here in hydroponics? Talk to Carlos and look for air purifier in one of the hydroponics towers. All right. Talk to the guards. Carlos, there we go. Steel 4, Steel 4, Steel 3. Medical machine. It's not a skill machine. It's our steel. 3, 1, 2, 2. So 3 it is. Alright, and that just leads out to a broken thing, so let's go ahead and come back here. Let's talk to this guy. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's an elevator. Keep walking! Alright, let's keep walking. What the heck was that? Medical machine. Let's check out the medical machine. It's probably just implant stuff. Yep, so we're going to leave that. Steel 3. We have Steel 3, right? I'd get paranoid here. Steel is 3. Okay. Extract, steal some meds. Success! Increase to Steel 4. Steel 4. Target is out of reach. Swipe some shells. Steel 4. Got a Zen. What the heck is a Zen? Stimulant. Increases neural resistance by 40, lasts 3 turns. Perception is reduced by 2 for the duration of the combat. What are all these ones here? Mind's Longest Dream. 1 to 2 extra melee damage, plus 4 AP, plus 15 reaction, plus 10 accuracy for 2 turns. Upon expiring, strength, dex, con, and perception are reduced by 2. Ouch. And that's the healing guy. Alright, let's talk to the trader, see if he's got anything good. We don't get many visitors, says the man, looking at you with interest. Thinking of joining? That's a nice mask you've got there. I had it custom made, the trader says with pride. Everything is for sale if the price is right. 60% toxic resistance. Yeah, I'll buy that. Browses wares. Ganger coat, welding boots, reinforced arm guards. Advantage arm guards, scavenger goggles, regen stem. Let's go ahead and buy that. Oh, one thing. Breathers. Toxic resistance 60. Let's put that on. This guy got any other breather stuff? I'm thinking we're going to need it. Let's go ahead and trade for that. Let's give that one to Faith. Alright, so everybody's got some form of toxic resistance. Alright. Talk to Carlos. Bald man wearing a gas mask gestures to you to approach. Where you can see it, his skin is pockmarked and slack from prolonged exposure to antifungal chemicals. You're guessing the environment isn't great for hair either. Welcome to Camp Reed, he says, removing his mask with a sigh of relief. I'm Carlos Maney. Boone sent me to pick up his algae. There's nothing in stock right now. The bioreactor is down again, so I can't do anything for you until we get it up and running. Of course, if you're willing to lend a hand, how can I help? We need more parts. Everything in the vicinity has been stripped bare, except, he turns and looks meaningful to the ruins of Alpha Tower. Once the hydroponic towers all stretched from floor to ceiling. While the lower section of Alpha Tower was destroyed during the mutiny, the upper half still clings stubbornly to the ceiling like a big metal stalactite. An ancient and not especially trustworthy looking walkway connects the stub to a nearby tower. I'll give it a shot. Don't hold your breath. Do you have any work that doesn't require acrobatics? Well, we do have a dispute with a fella named Morgan, Carlos says reluctantly. We hired him and his crew to clear one of the towers from wildlife, but now they're refusing to hand it over. I assume all options are on the table? We'd prefer the situation were resolved amicably, Carlos says carefully. But one way or another, we need to reclaim that tower. Let's see what I can do. I know, Morgan, says Faith. He worked with my father. Her face hardens as she speaks her words. I want your word. He is not to be harmed. What are you talking about? I know you tend to avoid violence, but I still need to hear it. Morgan's family to me. Morgan will not be harmed. I promise. Thank you, says Faith. I won't forget this. Alright, can't kill Morgan. Alright, can we go down, stick down? Can go down. Steel 4. We have Steel 4, yes? Do. So pick your pockets. Get some money. Get some skill points. That's the important part, is getting extra skill. 121 credits. Use an elevator. All right, let's go this way. Ha! It just leads right back there. Oh. So Faith that probably does not have a steal of 4. No, she's got a steal of 2. She got a sneak of 5 though. Made too much noise and can't go back in. Well, she couldn't steal anything anyway, so... So... elevator? Or there's the bridge. Let's go back up. Let's see what that bridge leads. Oh, nowhere. Elevator it is. Ah, first floor storage, second cultivation lab, living quarters. Living quarters. Oh, that's where we are. Cultivation lab. Miriam. A woman inspecting a test tube with green algae and frowns, making a quick note in her datapad. Any problems? The toxicity is well within acceptable parameters, but we keep an eye on it just in case. Can't be too careful with the AA strains. She gives you a quick smile as if to reassure you that everything is under control. The AA strains? Accelerated adaptation. In plain language, it means that new traits develop almost instantly. Weeks for unicellular organisms like green algae, years for more complex organisms, decades for humans. Evolution on steroids. You mean the mutants? They couldn't have mutated so quickly without help. The radiation was the catalyst, not the cause. So we played God. We don't know what awaits us at the end of our journey. We know that Proxima is mostly arid, but that doesn't tell us much. Some arid lands on old Earth are arable, others are long dead. We'll have to fight a war for survival, a war with our food supplies, and we'll need the right weapons to win it. What if the soil is too acidic? The soil's nutrients, currents too low, contaminated water, invasive pests. We cannot waste precious time trying to solve these problems while our crops are dying, when we can do it in simulated scenarios during the voyage. What's with all the frogs? Frogs are a keystone specimen, explains the woman, and they excel at pest control. That's why they were chosen for the program, along with others. Of course, Evolution doesn't work on demand, so many experiments have failed, one way or another. But all we needed was a few champions to secure a foothold in Proxima's ecosystem, and now we have them. Seem pretty handy with computers. Anything you can teach me? Well, I could use a break, and I can definitely use some money, she says pointedly. 200 credits per lesson. Fine, let's do it. Hold on, let's go. I think we're the computer guy, right? No, Evan. Evan is the computer guy. Glad we stopped to take a look. Trainee. Evans. Got him to 5. Still not enough to do things in... so we need computer 6 to get through one of the doors of the armory. And then computer 9. So it's going to take a while. He just barely got to computer 5. So we're going to leave. 200 credits is a lot of money. We're starting to get low on cash. Do you grow anything else besides algae? Like what? Asks the woman puzzled. Soybeans? Algae is much easier to grow, and it produces 10 times more protein. Most of the water is recycled, so it's as good as it gets. I'm surprised we had algae cultures to begin with. Why? Algae is an excellent fertilizer and soil stabilizer. We needed to tame Proxima's soil. We're lucky it happened to be so cheap and easy to produce natural food. Something we desperately need right now. You mentioned the AA strains. Accelerated adaptation. In plain... Oh, that's just what we... Leave her to her work. Go back and talk to her. Oh, leave her to her work. Alright. We got some computer knowledge. If we have more money, we can come back and get some more computer from her. So let's go ahead and use the elevator. First floor storage. Gideon. It's the elevator. Okay, that leads out. Let's go over here and talk to Gideon. You have the module, asked Gideon, not wasting time on any pleasantries. I'm working on it. Are you? Says Gideon, narrowing his one good eye. Well, it ain't here. Never seen anything like this, says Evans, staring at the greenery around him. Even the air tastes different here. Wait until we get to Proxima. Can you imagine? Our oaks and maples growing on Proxima one day, says Faith. New beginning. Promised land awaits, but we need to get there first. Alright, so we've got some foliage stuff that way. This is probably the tower that we need to retake back. There's some of those frogs. Those killer frogs. They kind of messed us up a little bit. Let's go this way. That's just going back down here. Never mind. Go through the foliage. And we can open up the door. Let's go through the foliage. Brings us over here. We can sneak in that way. Alright, let's just go through the front door. Private property, says the guard, raising his hand. No trespassing. Carlos sent me. Step right in, says the guard. The chief's been waiting for you. Morgan, a stocky, gray-haired man with shrewd eyes, is feeding two bullfrogs, throwing them chunks of old-looking meat with delight. Then he notices Faith, and his expression changes instantly. Faith? Is that you? But I thought... Wait for Faith to answer. Still alive, Faith says with a thin smile, which is more than I can say about Foley. That was you? Morgan asks in disbelief. Faith nods. If you need anything, says Morgan, his voice surprisingly soft and general. Anything at all. Carlos sent us. It's time for you to leave. Morgan glances at Faith but finds no support there. That's a big ask, he says with a pause. What if I say no? Carlos won't pay you. I hope you figured that out by now. If you have nothing to gain by staying but everything to lose. We can fight, Morgan says stubbornly. We have them critters on our side. Fight for what? Your pride? This isn't your home. So if you're looking for a worthy last stand, look elsewhere. Alright, says Morgan. We'll leave, but you owe me one, and someday I'll come to collect. Bond with Faith grows stronger. So we got some persuasion, some more persuasion. We even got some streetwise out of that. That's pretty nice. And some more impersonating. Cool. Wait for them to leave. Alright, so we turn to Carlos, but let's do a little exploring here. Nothing in there, but we did get the electronics to work. Oh my god! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frogs. That looks horrific. Because we ain't fighters. As we told Carlos. Or no, not Carlos. Told the other guy. Alright, let's go back to Carlos. Get for our troubles. We want to go to the 3rd floor. Squatters left. The tower is yours. We're in your debt, says Carlos, relieved. Here, take this. He gives you an old plasma cartridge. Its charge indicating glowing weekly. Enough juice for 2 shots. Maybe 3 if you're lucky. there anything else I can do? Sort of helping us clear the way into the habitat, not much. What do you mean? Hydroponics is sitting between the pit and the habitat. Since only the first zone is habitable, we're locked in here and have no choice but to sell our algae to the pit. They know it and pay us a third of what we can get from the habitat. Why can't you take your algae to the habitat? We'd have to pay the keepers, and that would reduce the profit to nothing. The keepers? Don't tell me you've never been to the habitat. Carlos looks at you quizzically, then shrugs and continues. They call themselves thy brother's keepers. Made a name for themselves doing escort runs, then set up a shop in the factory. You don't have to pay them, but you won't last long on your own. The factory's teeming with raiders, and they're getting bolder by the minute. Even the keepers are struggling to keep them at bay. Can you open the passage to the habitat then? I'm afraid it's impossible, says Carlos. We need to decontaminate the red zone, but without the right gear, you can't even enter it. Right, leave. Let's talk back to Carlos. Can't read? As in, Simon Reed, Carlos says, the man who led the first expedition. When we'd finally hacked our way into this tower, he dubbed it Camp Reed. We all thought it was the first step towards reclaiming hydroponics entire. Yet, here we are. 3 years later, and we've got nothing to go further. What's holding you back? Plants were sacred to the founding fathers. They represented our connection to Mother Earth, our sustenance, and our future. Picture rippling fields of wheat, rye, and barley to the horizon. Mighty oaks and cedars. Children eating apples right from the tree. That was the vision for Proxima. But they didn't anticipate how many seedlings would fall into the ship's simulated environments. And unless they found a way to make good those losses, it would be catastrophic. Carlos nods. Alien fauna and poor soil were deemed the biggest threats. So they matched the most important plant species with customized symbiotic fungi. The latter was meant to act as pest killers. Unfortunately, the fungus did its job a little too well. We're the pests now. What about the native plants on Proxima? Have you seen any? Neither have I. Maybe they have their own apples and oranges. Not that I've seen one of those either. But what's more likely is they'll contain organic compounds we can't digest. Then what? What happened to Reed? He died 3 days after staking his claim, along with the rest of the expedition. Reed had brought some fancy poisons that should have killed any kind of fungal threat instantly. And it almost worked. I guess you could call that Reed's epitaph. The thing played dead for 3 days, metaphorically licking its wound and literally evolving its cellular composition. Then it struck back. Where did this super fungus come from in the first place? Same place as our ancestors. It was one of the original passengers. Fungi are very versatile. They have all kinds of useful and dangerous properties. The plan was to wipe out whatever local fungi we found on Proxima and replace it with our own Earth-born varieties to supply our crops with nutrients and protect them from diseases, the environment, etc. They ran the Earth fungal cultures through hundreds of mutation cycles to make sure it would survive in alien soil. There were safeguards, but those required active cultivation by our botanists to work. And the mutiny threw all that right out the window. Now, the fungus is doing what it was designed to do: kill any creature that threatens the plants and decompose the resulting organic matter into nutrients. So what are you planning to do? We can't defeat the fungus. It adapts to anything we throw at it, and every time it mutates to counter our efforts, we need to change our protective equipment and protocols, which takes time and costs lives. The other 2 zones are lost, but we're doing our best to hang on to this one. Our newest chemical agents don't attack the fungus directly, but prevent it from spreading here. Stopping it without a direct challenge has been our best strategy so far. Why hasn't it spread beyond the hydroponics? They are built-in safeguards, different for each zone. The highest concentration of the fungi is in the red zone. You wouldn't last 10 seconds there. The yellow zone is a bit more hospitable if you have the right gear. This is the green zone, as friendly as it gets. There has to be a way to kill the fungus. There is, nods Carlos. In the red zone. Well, that's not good. Back to the business at hand. Alright. Let's go back down. We have to look for a bioreactor in Alpha Tower. Look for air purifier in the hydroponics tower, which is where we're going. Its engineers needs an override module for the power grid. That's the armory, which we didn't find. Promise gangers, control module. That's mission control, and then find the bioreactors. Okay. Whoops. Working on it. Leave. Alright, what do we got here? What are we looking at? If I just see the 3, 2 bullfrogs and a spitter. Alright. Spots of frogs ahead. We're not a good sneaky party. We got one decent sneaky person, but we're not a good sneaky party. It's killing time! And we could use some XP and stuff too, so... No. We want Faith back there. We want Jed up front. Why is Jed hurt? Stick me in the back as well. Oh, the bullfrogs are all faster than us. Great. Crippled and knocked down. Oh, that's a bad start. He's got a shotgun, but it's... Or no, this is Evans, so... We didn't give him a club. We didn't give him that club. Gosh dang it. Well, that's not good. Evans is just getting mauled here. Not enough action points. What do we got left action point wise? 3 action points, that's it. Alright, this is a bad turn of events here. Faith. Oh my gosh! And it only grazed. This is bad. This is bad, people. Nine action points for headshot. Critical. Oh, come on! Not enough action points. Focus burst. Oh, we suck so badly at this. We suck horribly. Come on, Faith. No ammo. Come on, he's got 1 hit point left. Ah, no action points. We got one! Out of action points. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Blinded. This sucks. This sucks. Ammo. Come on, Faith. You're the only one that's not blinded here. Good job, Evans. Blocked, but if we move here, it's going to get a shot, and we'll be blocking Faith. Let's go ahead and stop here. Stop it, Frog! Alright, we need to heal up badly. Oh, that sucked. Alright, nobody leveled. Look like anybody's armor or evasion changed. Let's check out. Nope, not that. No, I was right. I was at the right spot to begin with. Dang it. Or no, I need to be in inventory. Inventory is where it is. Yeah, no. Nobody got anything good out of it. Can't loot it. Alright, let's see what else we got floating around here. Alright, well, after that fight and everything, look at the time, let's go ahead and call it here. Thank you guys for watching, I do appreciate it. I'm Mr. Joseph, you guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you later.